Okay, welcome to episode number 2 of the Only Pools podcast.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You ever go swimming? Man, it's so much fun. Now we got a podcast joining everyone. Talking about pools, the stories we share. From backyard splashing to Olympic fair. We got chlorine, pH, and filter tips. Keep your pool fresh, avoiding no slips. With hosts so cool and guests so neat. We're dropping pool knowledge that it can't be beat. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. Only Pools Podcast. Let's go.
Yes. Glad to have everybody back. We had a great first episode, intro episode. Got a lot for you guys today. We got a lot to talk about. We just got through a storm. Pretty bad one here, huh?
Really bad one.
Yep, caused a lot of flooding. We're fortunate it wasn't a hurricane when it hit us. It was just a tropical storm. Turned into a hurricane, Hurricane Debbie, as it turns out, when it hit the panhandle, I guess, earlier this morning or yesterday.
And someone left their car window open the entire time I was here.
Right? We got 12 inches of rain here in St. Pete. I think it all ended up in your car, didn't it?
2-3 inches of rain inside my car.
Ah, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Because you were gone during the hurricane, right?
Yeah, out in Utah in the dry desert, so I didn't get to experience any of it,
Lucky you.
but I heard all about it.
Yeah. They're always fun. I grew up in the Keys, and I'm used to going through a lot of hurricanes each year, so I'm pretty well prepared. After Andrew, they all seem to be like nothing. So that was in 98,
Oh, yeah. No.
I believe. Yeah, 1998.
I was alive, just wasn't here for that.
Yeah. So, but no, we got a lot of other stuff for you too. Besides the storm, talk about the Olympics today and
Yes.
how the swim team did. Also got a tip of the week and a dad joke for you. So I guess with the hurricanes, right now our crews are out flipping over some green pools. We had about 9 or 10 of them, which isn't too bad out of 430 some pools. Only 9 or 10 that turned green, so that's pretty good. A lot of people fared pretty well. All of our commercials were good.
Oh,
Which is really good. We got a lot of commercials that are on the beach, and they tend to get a lot of sand blown into the
Yes.
pools, which makes it a pretty big mess. Talk about a few do's and don'ts, to be prepared when hurricanes come. First thing is don't ever drain your pool. Pools here in Florida, Florida has a water table underneath it from the aquifer, and it fills up this time of year. So you have water pushing up on the bottom of your pool, and it could potentially pop the pool out of the ground. Even when the pool is full, I've seen several pools pop out. Last year, I believe we had a storm on the East Coast that, we had some pools that got washed out into the ocean. So there's horrible stuff there. But homeowners insurance does not cover a pool popping out of the ground, especially if it's because you emptied it. So make sure that it's somebody licensed, insured, and has specific pop-up insurance for
Yes.
draining a pool. Of course, we would never tell you to drain the pool anyway. If you want to take about 2 inches out of the pool, that's fine, but it's really not going to matter. Your pool water is not going to flood your house. It's the rainwater that'll flood your house if it floods. So,
Same with a spa. You have a hot tub that's sitting up. Don't drain that either, because if it does flood, it could float away.
Yep.
So you need some weight to keep it locked in place.
Yep, hot tubs and pools both. I mean, that water is what gives it its weight, so it won't go anywhere. If you try to drain it off, you're making that lighter and bigger possibility of it, popping on the ground or floating away. I'm sure we can scour the internet and find some photos of hot tubs floating.
There's a YouTube video out there somewhere, yeah.
Sure. You don't want to run your pumps during the storm. It's a good idea to just turn the pumps off at the breaker. That way, if power goes out and when it comes back on, it won't surge and ruin your pumps. So it's good to have that. Don't go out in the middle of the storm to shut your pump off. Shut it off hours before the storm arrives. So last year, somebody got electrocuted doing that. They walked out during this pouring down rain. They went out there to shut their pump off, and touching an electrical box while they're wet, standing in water, not a good idea. So they got fried doing that. So
Same with gas heaters.
Yep, shut off your gas too. For your gas heater, that's a good one.
Just in case.
So Next, don't throw your lawn furniture into the pool. I see people do this all the time. It's just a bad idea. Number one, your pool guy's not going to get it out. That's not his job.
No.
He's not going to injure himself or hurt his back trying to pull your lawn furniture out of the pool. So don't do that. If you have any metal on that furniture and it's sitting on the bottom of the pool, the chlorine is eating away at that metal, causing it to rust. And it will leave a stain in the bottom of the pool.
Or if it's metal furniture, it'll scratch your pool.
That too.
If you have a fiberglass pool, it'll do a lot of damage.
Yep. So there's a few things that you do and don't want to do. Probably a good idea to take anything that's floating in the pool, like noodles or toys or anything like that, get that out, put it away inside so it doesn't blow away and it doesn't become a projectile. Because if you have a screen enclosure, whatever that floating pool toy was, it could blow right through your screens. So make sure that you have all that stuff out.
I also seen people recommended taking their pool cleaners out.
Yep. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea because the hoses and stuff are floating. They can catch wind pretty easily.
True.
So I've watched screen enclosures come down and into the pools too. So,
Which is a good one. Don't cover your pool.
Yeah. Yep, because it'll definitely ruin the cover. I mean, the wind will pick it right up and rip it off.
Tree branches falling down on your cover. Now, not only do you have to remove all that, but you also have to replace your cover.
Yep, absolutely. If you want to shock your pool, I recommend, if you're going to shut your system off, use liquid chlorine. Because otherwise shock will just sit at the bottom of your pool and could stain it. So liquid chlorine would be the best to pour in there right before you shut your pump off. Get it circulated so you get a high concentration of chlorine in there before the storm hits. Because it's just going to get diluted down with all the rain.
Yeah.
So that's a good tip. But, besides hurricanes, that's not the only storm we got to worry about, apparently. I was watching 13 News, and there's Sahara dust storms that are making their way towards the United States. Apparently it happens every year. This year just happens to be a little worse than others. They're getting Sahara dust is blowing from the desert all the way across the ocean, going across Florida, and as far as Texas. And
it's so crazy.
For some of the people out there that are getting some yellow pools, don't necessarily blame your pool guy because, that's active nature. We really can't control that.
And it's crazy that it's making it all the way over here.
Yeah, that's far. That's definitely far going across the Atlantic Ocean like that. Just same distance. That's where these hurricanes and storms form and is out there by the African coast. So, it's amazing how that makes that all the way over here. So, we got the Olympics going on right now.
Yes.
Swim team did amazing. They got, I believe, 28 medals, which is the most of anybody else in swimming. We have 8 gold, 13 silver, and I believe 7 bronze.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So go Team USA. We've got Michael Phelps, actually. That's 28 is how many medals he's totaled in his career.
Just in his career.
Right.
Which is insane.
Exactly. He is retired now, but his win total is the same as all of USA's this year. So we have a local Olympian here from Clearwater. His name is Bobby Fink. And I guess he won last Olympics. He won gold and in the freestyle, and he won it again and set a world record this year in the 1500 freestyle.
And right out of Clearwater, which is right just north of us.
Yep. So, maybe one day I can track him down and we can get him on the show. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be so cool. And I know who was the female, Katie Ledecky. She won her 1500 meter freestyle and won gold in that as well. That one was like by a mile. She finished. She turned around. And she's watching all the other swimmers.
I think I caught that highlight. Yeah,
it wasn't even close. So hats off to her.
That's crazy.
I believe our water polo team is doing pretty good too, but I kind of only focused on the swimming team.
I haven't watched it
because, of course, Pools and Only Pools podcast is what we're talking about.
I know our guy out there during lunch watches soccer the entire time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to like soccer when I was a kid, but kind of grew out of it. Yeah. Football guy now. Thank goodness, football season starting up, preseason this week.
And none of our pool medals include the skateboarding, which is technically done in a pool.
Yeah, you're right. That's technical, but no,
there's no water in
including those.
Well, it did rain the one day, which postponed it, but no swimming involved.
Huh. I wouldn't mind seeing those. It was pretty cool.
It's massive, and I think they just build up, compete, tear down.
Wow.
Whole skate park.
Wow, I wouldn't mind that contract. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a joke of the week for you.
Yes.
Speaking of the Olympics, what did the Olympic-sized pool say to the kiddie pool?
What did the Olympic-sized pool say to the kiddie pool? I don't know.
I can't talk to you anymore. You're too shallow. You'll see a lot of corny jokes coming from me. Me being a 7-time grandfather and dad, my wife gets really annoyed with all my corny jokes.
He needs an outlet to put him somewhere.
Yes, and I figured this would be the perfect platform. You can share and annoy your wife and your kids as well.
Every week we'll have one.
There you go. Tip of the week this week. You ever notice when you get the oil slick that's on top of the pool?
Yes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
It also causes like the grime or the line around your tile too and inside your skimmer.
It almost looks like bubble liquid.
Yeah. Yep. Good way to get rid of that and cheap way is throw in a few tennis balls. The felt from the tennis balls will absorb all that oil, so it doesn't go to your tiles.
Do you just want to throw them in somewhere, or like in the skimmer?
Yeah, you can. They'll end up in the skimmer most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just toss them in the pool, and then when you're done, give them to your dog. Let them play with them. A ball full of oil, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's good for them or not.
Spray it down somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Hose it off. Put a little Dawn dish up on there.
Yeah.
But why make it go to waste?
Yeah. You guys have any tips or tricks out there that you would like us to try or know offhand? Because I know there's a million on TikTok, and it's hard not to try it. But if you have any, comment them down below, and maybe we'll do some videos of us trying them out to see if they actually work.
Yeah, we could do a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
A Mythbusters.
A factor cap of pools.
Yep. I know people have tried to get rid of green pools using the magic erasers.
And pennies too? Didn't we say something about pennies? Yeah. Yeah,
pennies in your skimmer. Copper is a good algicide, liquid copper, not the pennies. There's not enough copper that's in them. In fact, most pennies today are made of zinc. They don't really even have copper in them. So it's kind of a waste. And if you drop those through the skimmer line or they get through and clog your pump, you're going to be calling out a service call for that. So
ruining all your equipment.
Yep. So just be careful on some of those things that you see online. Not everything is true.
Speaking of not everything, I was doing a little bit of research for other tips for hurricane. And one was you should remove your pump and put it in dry storage. So if it floods, you're not out of pump. And I was like, who's going to go through all the trouble?
Well, it's today, like when we install pumps, we usually use unions that you can just take off. So you take it off, but you still have the electric hooked up. We don't want you disconnecting your electric from the breaker box. That's not a good idea. So I can see where they're going with that. I know last year we had 2 bad storms with surge, and it came up and submerged a lot of people's pool equipment. So, after we redid their pools, we drained and acid washed them and replaced their equipment. We raised their equipment onto cinder blocks.
Or a hurricane pad, yeah.
So, yeah. So, you got those options there, but don't try to disconnect your equipment.
No, I read that and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, no. And you're just asking to get electrocuted.
And you're going to break something, guaranteed.
Yeah, most likely. Leave it to the professionals. So, all right. I think that's about wraps up episode 2. Hope you all had a good time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And just remember, just keep swimming.
Yeah. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. You ever go swimming, man? It's so much fun. Now we got a podcast joining everyone. Talking about pools, the stories we share. From backyard splashing to Olympic fair. We got chlorine, pH, and filter tips. Keep your pool fresh, avoiding no slips. With hosts so cool and guests so neat. We're dropping pool knowledge that it can't be beat. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. Dive into discussions, no topics too small. From kiddie pools to water parks, we cover it all. We got pool parties and cannonballs too. If it's about water, we talking to you. Interviews with experts and stories to share. From poolside barbecues to water care. We got tips and tricks to keep your pool right. Listen in the morning or at the late night. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. Who's down with OPP? Every last homie. O is for only, the best place to be. P is for pools, come dive in with me. P is for podcast. Podcast. We talking weekly, only Pools Podcast, the one and only. Grab your goggles and your floaties too. Tune in to our show, we got stuff for you. Poolside chats to aquatic news. Only Pools Podcast, you can't refuse. We teach you how to clean, how to keep it clear. The best pool stories that you'll ever hear. From summer fun to maintenance prep. Only Pools Podcast, we're your best bet. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down with OPP? Only Pools Podcast. You down